welcome to ETTO's Catch Up, the first one we're actually trying to do for the new year. We did one, which was like AMA us anything.
Yeah.
But this is like an actual one.
Yes.
The other one was a bit of a write-off.
Yeah.
This is real.
It's good to be back. You've been back for like 48 hours, basically.
I have, yes. That is weird to think of.
Yeah.
It's felt longer in the sense that it doesn't feel like 48 hours.
Yeah, I guess we've had like 2 work days. So work feels long.
It feels long.
Yeah.
And this podcast probably will be long. It's a little bit different than usual. Usually we go from here, we talk about our life a little bit, then we do news, then we do questions from yous, and then we rec stuff and get out of here. But we're going to put all our recs and our catching up after the news. So we're going to do stuff here now, which means I might also say we'll skip the section where we usually try to plug something or like Patreon, because I'm going to plug up front something that's only available to patrons, which we recorded 2 of and we will do more of. If you are a patron and haven't already listened to it, it's Tepid. It's our radio show. What have we done?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
All right. Tepid FM is our radio podcast show, I guess.
Yeah.
Where we just choose. Generally, we'll probably choose like a topic, a genre, a concept that we will be choosing our favorite songs within that idea and sharing it with each other and sharing why that means anything to us in relation to that concept and stuff like that.
Or forgetting what instruments are in the song. You could do that too.
That as well. Yeah. Why not?
No trumpets.
That was great. No trumpets. Never trumpets. But it was so much fun. Like, I feel like we laughed more doing that than we have in any other piece of media in a few years. It was so dumb and so funny, just trying to be various radio host energies. It's going to be great for the future ones, but definitely check out those first ones. If you haven't yet,
please
definitely should.
I'll try and find. I guess maybe I'll pin something in the Discord. But I think you do have to be a certain tier. So check your patronage and what is available to you. But if you can listen to it. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And I made a playlist over the break specifically for you. You want to click that one and tell everyone what it's called.
Cool music to ride your skateboard to.
It's and what's it full of?
Till Kingdom Come by Coldplay.
It's an hour and 2 minutes.
That's amazing.
So you can that's for your next skateboard ride,
dude.
That's just for you.
I will absolutely be adding that as an offline playlist to my phone. That's so good. Yeah.
Fun fact.
If you don't know what the reference is, too bad.
Yeah. I'll avoid making obvious because I was going to say a fun fact about that thing.
Yeah, sure.
Andrew it's the reason it's in the movie is he's a skateboard man and he wanted to put skateboarding into the Spider-Man movie.
Right.
That was all him.
Yes.
He was like, if I got like additional agility and was able to do cool things, the first thing I would do was try to ride my skateboard the best I could.
That's cool.
And that's why it's in the movie.
That's so good.
So it's just another element. If this man, who we love, knows Spider-Man this well and was like, he would skateboard, Spider-Man skateboards.
Yeah. And was he the guy that I mentioned a while ago? There was an interview and he was like, the best thing I've done is like kickflip down a 7 stair.
Yeah.
Or something. And I was like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I didn't realize he was actually a skateboarder, but like kickflipping a 7 stair is significant. Like just running and jumping off a set of 7 stairs is insane, let alone doing that on a skateboard plus also making it flip in the air. He's
just very good.
Way better than I am. So that's awesome. Big skateboard has been around for a while.
Big skateboard.
And apparently Andrew Garfield has been heading it up.
2012, he founded the big skateboard in the nerd world.
That's it.
But there's a rec. So if you haven't already listened to that stuff, go listen to that. But keep listening to this first because we're going to do a little thing that we like to call news. Very soft.
Starting off the year with low news energy.
It's tepid. It's limp.
It's just so limp.
Yeah, it's a limp news. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So obviously, I don't know, like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know if it's obvious yet.
We got some news of a pretty big acquisition from Microsoft.
That is pretty obvious.
It is. Acquiring Activision and Blizzard and everything that is within that. But just today, like this morning, we got a brand new one from Sony. Everyone's like, what's Sony going to do? What are they going to come back with?
There's nothing left, right?
No. Why not just acquire something that I feel everyone just assumed was very Microsoft heavy. Bungie is joining the PlayStation family.
Okay.
What the heck? the original creators of Halo are now owned by Sony. Sure. It's a $3.6 billion US dollar acquisition, around 5 billion Australian.
Yeah.
Sony have said, this is the CEO or whoever, have said that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher. They'll just provide money. And there was a statement at some point. They said, Bungie is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation studios achieve new heights. So basically they're buying them, they're allowed to do whatever they want, but they will take like tools and stuff from them and probably give them to other studios to continue to make probably games as a service.
Yeah, I was going to say,
tools and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So they essentially own the platforms and stuff that they create to make Destiny. So now they can, Sony can now go more into the games as a service world, I guess.
And it's quite funny because when all the acquisitions, and loosely acquisitions, so far it seems like it came out a couple of days ago that like COD and stuff is going to remain everywhere for a while, even though Microsoft have bought Activision and the rest of it. But people have kind of been like, they're all, apart from Ubisoft, they've bought every other company, every other big name that make games that aren't like Uncharted and God of War and Horizon, where it's like that's such a PlayStation thing. It's like, well, how are they ever going to have different games that are of a different genre? So they bought one of the, the people that can make them
biggest
one of those.
Ones. The freaking biggest ones out right now.
It's pretty cool. It's very interesting. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, like what games exist because of this, and what changes.
What changes? Like, you know, I don't know what they've said about Gran Turismo, but whether they turn Gran Turismo in the future into a games as a service like Forza or something like that, where they've got seasons. I don't know what the latest one is going to be.
I think it's the usual bullshit.
It's the usual single player with a bit of multiplayer, but no seasonal content. But it
chapters
could in the future, turn into it.
That would be cool
under the sort of games as a service platform.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Some stuff.
I have a thing that's not about gaming at all.
Super quick. Sorry, one more thing. My apologies. This all came from PlayStation Blog, the other stuff, and there is statements from Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, and Herman Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios. So you can check those out if you want to read more. And one of the other things that it said was, I think this was from Kotaku, maybe. It said, as one example of, stuff that won't be platform exclusive, they said the massive upcoming February 22 expansion for Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, won't launch with platform exclusives. It's like, so in the future
it could.
It's weird that they at some point one of the people I guess involved in this specified that the latest expansion won't launch with platform exclusives. It was like, well, what will?
Well, it's almost, I guess it's almost the same as the COD thing, where they're like, the next 3, not all of them.
Totally. But it's like in the future they could have expansions that are in both, but PlayStation has very specific somethings.
Nathan Drake's in it.
Or like Aloys or whatever. Like
Aloys just totally
could
just slip into death. She's in every game. She's in Genshin. She's
pops into everything. Or at least
Fall Guys.
Or at least they could pretty easily bring in like enemy.
She's in like Monster Hunter
robot. Enemy robots and stuff.
Totally.
Like that would just fit probably.
So
interesting stuff.
It's very cool.
I'm now done. My apologies for butting in once again.
Not at all. A man that is never done is Michael Giacchino.
He's never done.
Except for last year.
He's done?
He was done last year.
Okay.
Well, I mean, everyone was.
It's true.
Last year's over. Like, no one can be doing anything last year anymore.
Make a good point.
But last year he basically, I think I wrote down, he only did No Way Home, a little indie movie.
It's just, no one saw that.
And he also composed 3 of the scores for the Pixar popcorn shorts that went up on Disney+.
Cute.
So he was behind those 2. But generally, and I'll list some of the things that he's done that you may have heard of. He's generally doing a lot at once.
Okay.
But these are some of the films and other forms of media that he has worked on.
Interesting.
basically everything Pixar for a long time, but a few of them: The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Inside Out, Doctor Strange, all 3 Star Treks, Lost, Alias, Mission Impossible 3, Toy Story 4, Rogue One, some of the Medal of Honors, and some of the Call of Duties.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sick.
So he has a plethora of things that he's worked on. The thing that I just always love to bring up is the fact that he had a single month to compose the entirety of Rogue One, because the original composer dropped out like in their allotted time that they had for him to do it.
Jeez.
So during that time, they found him and were like, "Can you do the thing?" And
so they found him.
Well, he'd already done. This is Disney. Yeah, no, he's very little.
Yeah.
He's just hot off that.
They boost him into the
absolutely
stratosphere
off that little indie Doctor Strange film.
That's it.
He basically finished that and had done Inside Out, Doctor Strange, and a Star Trek, and was like, "I'm going to take a holiday." And then they went, "No."
Yeah.
And so he spent a month doing that, and then I think he took quite a few months off.
Yeah. Please, here's another few million, I assume.
Please, to write some of the best music in cinema.
Yeah.
And he's going to continue doing that in 2022. Last year, only a single film and some shorts. Mm-hmm. This year, already confirmed, was The Batman. He's all in on that. Jurassic World Dominion. He wrote the score for the other 2. So Jurassic World 3 is this year.
Cool.
Thor Love and Thunder.
I haven't heard anything about
there's
Jurassic
2
World.
shots from the film.
Yeah.
Thor Love and Thunder, which is not a Marvel property he's touched yet. So this will be interesting to see what he does with it.
Cool.
And rounding out to have 4 productions this year, he's recently announced to be doing Lightyear as well, which is a Pixar, so it's not overly surprising.
That's
it should
cool
be exciting.
though.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the man that brought the, in Toy Story 4, my favorite part of that movie, because it's not a great movie, was when Buzz flies and and it's the music from Toy Story 2 where it's like so if he does that in Lightyear, I will scream.
That would be pretty sick.
I don't love the Toy Story films, but that piece of score has always been in my brain.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm very excited to see what he will do on Lightyear. But 4 big blockbuster films.
Yes, I'm super keen for Lightyear. And my sister said she thinks that might be my nephew's first in-cinema thing. So I assume we'll go see it probably day 1.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
And then I can let her know whether it's appropriate for like at that stage probably a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's very cool. It looks so good.
Yes.
Anything that looks good in your news?
Yeah, man. So one thing which I guess is, surprising between media types, Aardman Animations. This is something I sent to you a while ago and you were like, you should have kept that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't click on it.
Good. There you go. Aardman Animations, the studio behind Wallace and Gromit and a bunch of other stop motion stuff, like I think Chicken Run and all of those types of things. Shaun the Sheep, maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying to think the one that Tom Hiddleston was in where it was like Year One or something. And it was like, there were cavemen and stuff like that. Early Man, I think it was what it was called.
Cool.
But yeah, lots of stuff.
So they're developing a new open world video game based on an original IP.
I mean, they got so many.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's an extra bit of work you need to do.
Yeah, totally. But I wonder whether it's like their original IP, because like an original could
totally,
just be part of theirs, I guess.
Yeah.
But
that's a good point.
All of their, like, basically these are just a lot of quotes from articles and things. This is from Tech Radar. The game will focus on inventive mechanics and compelling characters, according to the job listings on their website.
Thank goodness.
And is described as a mad open world game that sits within the 3D action adventure genre. Amazing, hilarious, surprising, and varied characters.
Yep.
And the same humor, love, and craftsmanship that Aardman Animations have become known for.
Cool.
So the 3 roles that are going on their website, this was approximately a month ago, so I don't know if these are still up, but gameplay programmer / technical designer, level and narrative designer, and character artist are the roles going. So yeah, super keen to find out more about that, because that sounds cool, and I love the look of like those sort of stop motion.
Will it be like
games?
Cuphead, where Cuphead was all hand drawn? Will this all be claymation scanned in?
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah,
because there have been games like that before, like the Neverhood, and which was like an old one, but then there was a more recent one that I've forgotten the name of.
Yeah.
We played a bit of it for a video, but I don't think we ever put it together because we didn't like the game that much.
Shit. No, I can't remember what it was. But yeah.
It was within that sort of realm.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would be like that because you could essentially just kind of, create your 3D animations based around that and lerp between them still and stuff, like create exactly how you would animate it on animation loops.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
have it all based around that. Like it should work animation wise. There's no reason why it wouldn't, and it has worked for the other ones.
Yeah. That's cool. I wonder if it will be like, because the way it kind of sounds, it almost sounds like the IP games from when we were kids, like the SpongeBob games and stuff, but in an open world format.
Yeah.
So whether that kind of idea, if it is original IP, whether it's all there, like it's it's
all of them. Yeah.
It's just going to be an Aardman game.
Yeah.
And so everything's there. There's a Chicken Run sequel next year. So it's like,
what?
Yeah. With Zachary Levi as the dude. I don't know if he was. I don't think he was in the original.
He would have been young, I would assume. Yeah.
So it's a continuation, but completely two new people.
Which is
odd,
bizarre.
So like,
I need to rewatch that movie then.
That IP is in there, so it's like,
cool.
It's possible they're pulling upon a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's just like the Aardman verse.
And
video game.
Sean was in Wallace, so it's like that's already connected.
Yeah.
Feasibly, if there's a sheep, there are chicken.
There's
they
farms.
can all exist.
Fine. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, they could do it.
That's cool.
Imagine an open world platformer set in the English countryside. It's like, I'm going to go up to Wales isn't in the English countryside, but I'm just going to that's it. It's just England.
Like, what are the stakes in a game set in the English countryside? What is the open world?
There's a statue that they don't want.
Of course.
That's it.
Just village. There's a village that's just against a thing. Yeah, like some development in their village.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
done.
all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to fight them.
Love it.
Easy.
There it is.
And speaking of fighting, Mortal Kombat is in the news.
Okay.
Yeah, moving on.
Wordle. Okay.
Mortal Kombat 12 is possibly fairly close to coming out.
Okay. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's like two years or so since the previous one.
Not as long as I thought.
Yeah, no, it's kind of been an installment over the past 4 years. I think there's been 11 and 12, 10 and 11 have come out.
You said a lot of numbers.
I keep forgetting. I feel like I've played 12, but 11 is the most recent one.
Okay.
And I'm excited for this because I played 9 through to 11 and I really enjoyed them all. The movie was great.
Yeah.
Like I'm super keen for more of this. I don't know what the fuck the story of anything is.
I don't think anyone does.
No, because if you don't know Mortal Kombat, it's the same story almost every game, but it's been rebooted in the previous one. So they almost do the same story every time.
Yeah.
But the end of it is all about the universe breaking. So then they can just do it again the next game. So assumedly 12 will be
it's weirdly almost like time loopy or like universe jumping and stuff. Like
the latest,
multiversal.
Mortal Kombat 11 was Kronos or something, that literally a god of time that was there, and you relive elements of the previous games and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Sick.
It was one of my favorite gaming experiences last year.
Okay.
It didn't come out last year, but maybe I have another one very soon because NetherRealm Studios senior project. Fuck you. NetherRealm Studios senior production manager.
Got it.
Not done yet. Jonathan Anderson. That's his full name. Jonathan Anderson.
Yeah.
The other stuff really isn't relevant.
Anderson.
It's important. He's high up in NetherRealm. Put up a tweet, then deleted the tweet, as they all do.
Yep.
And on the screen was a file that said MK12_must. So obviously master was on the desktop. Of course, that could be bullshit and like he put it there for fun.
Yep.
And he definitely did, because also in that tweet, a bit of an email was visible, and it basically said, confidential, do not, our fans eagerly scrape the internet for any trace, take extra care with this material.
Good.
So
that's great.
It's like he just went double down on the whole idea of it. The fact they delete the tweet, it's so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's good marketing.
Yeah, so it seems very likely that 12 is inbound. Even more so, I was looking through like because recently the sequel had kind of been reported by Deadline that is in production, that there was enough good reception from the previous one.
Sure.
That was recently, and also Mortal Kombat co-creator.
Imagine if like they decided, we'll stop at 11.
Yeah.
11's enough
That'll
over
do.
like 20 to 30 years.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about Resident Evil. It's like,
totally.
They just keep going around.
Just keep going.
Fine.
But it's funny that they're like, I think the reception was good enough that we can probably scrape by with one more.
One more. I'm talking about the movie.
Come on.
Sequel to the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you meant...
Reception to 11 was amazing.
I thought you meant 12.
And it seemingly announced via Deadline, as well as the co-creator Ed Boon was recently selected as the 25th inductee into the Academy of Interactive Arts and Science Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
You have a lot of long things to say in this.
Fucking words, man. And so there's already 2 stories that are like boosting the Mortal Kombat tag in the algorithm. Yeah. So the possibility that now this has also come out, it's like they've seen that there's hype building, so they put this out, and so an announcement could come out pretty soon. Cool. I don't know where. I don't know whether they would hold on till July for like Summer Games or something, or something in between, because NetherRealm is, of course, part of like the AT&T, all that crazy stuff that happened earlier last year.
Yep.
So, people have been wanting an Injustice 3 game, but that's difficult to do now because of Warner Brothers.
Yep.
So this, if they want to make some money, is an easy bet because they own all the characters. There's no license issues. So... if the studio wants to put out a game without worry, it's probably it.
Yeah.
That's Mortal Kombat. If they talk about it like in the next 24 hours, just know I already knew. We knew first.
There you go. We knew. Yeah. We got it. We got there. No segue. Something that I thought was insane, but as I read on, turned out to be maybe not so insane. Wordle, the thing that I don't think either of us have dipped our toes in.
Oh, I play it daily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't see you post.
I sent you a thing, and then I was like, oh God, I hope you don't play it because I just spoiled the word. Remember? I used tepid. And then you said I don't use that. I play the one with the numbers.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I play this thing daily.
That's right. Was bought by the New York Times for apparently a low 7-figure sum.
Yeah, okay.
It was made by one dude, so it made that guy like an instant millionaire.
Yeah.
But something that has been kind of like, so quickly internationally renowned, and just seeing colored squares
on the Tweety,
like a 5x6 thing of colored squares or whatever, is so instantly recognizable to be Wordle.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to it. Like, I just see my friends just post these squares. Yeah. I'm like, originally I didn't know what that was, and then I saw someone post like that with Wordle. I'm like,
okay,
I guess
I'm getting closer.
Yeah, I don't know what Wordle is yet. Being bought by the New York Times. And they have said, the paper's announcement says the acquisition is part of its digital subscription growth strategy, which I was like, oh no. With its games app being one of the key ways, along with crosswords, that the Times hopes to attract more subscribers beyond those interested in its news services. So I was like,
they're going to make you pay.
Wordle going to make you pay? So this one dude, his name's Josh.
Of course it is.
It's not me. Josh Wardle.
Fuck.
Which I didn't realize until I read it just then.
Wow.
That he's named it essentially after himself. Wordle.
But imagine if
Wardle.
Imagine if you called it Josh.
Yeah.
Have you done your Josh today?
Have you done your Josh today? With someone today. Good. He said, I'd be lying if I said this hasn't been a little overwhelming. This is just the release of Wordle being fairly recent. After all, I'm just one person. It's important to me that as Wordle grows, it continues to provide a great experience to everyone. So he goes on within this. This is all from Kotaku as well, basically saying that he's really happy that they've taken it over. And he said when the game moves to the New York Times site, it will be free to play for everyone. He said site though, so I wonder whether the mobile version will be the paid subscription. I'm just turning this over in my head as I'm reading, and working with them to make sure your wins and streaks will be preserved.
That's important.
So the server will continue, whatever his information, his data for your accounts and stuff will be continuing over there. But I do wonder whether, because I think it's an app, right?
No, it's just a website.
It is a website.
Yeah. Powerlanguage.co.uk/Wordle.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. I know nothing about it. I just assumed it was an app.
No. Just as a site, and my I've played 32, and I won 53% of them.
Cool.
My current streak is 1, and my max streak is 3. So I got 3 right in a row.
Nice. That's pretty good. So pretty cool. Interesting. Nice that it is free to play, because as soon as I saw that they were doing it and that it's an acquisition as part of its digital subscription growth strategy, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
They've just destroyed that game. Why would anyone play it anymore? Someone will just come in and make a free version as an app or something, and then no one will bother going to the New York Times.
Totally.
But I don't know. I don't know why it being free would bring people over to subscribe to the New York Times.
Yeah. I guess, if anything, I feel like it'll get more people to play Wordle.
Yeah.
There'll be people who are subscribed that are like, oh, what's that? Whereas no one's going to them now.
I don't feel like people are going to go to the news.
No.
I don't know. Seems weird. Seems weird overall.
But good on Josh.
Good on him. Good on Josh Wardle.
What a crazy thing.
That's so funny.
And it's
a great realization.
It's so funny that the 7-figure thing, because I meant to bring it up with Bungie. It's like, that is such a small amount of money. I know they only make one game at the moment. Like, it's not like they've acquired Activision or something. But it's like, that is a single digit.
Yeah. 5 billion ain't much.
No.
Yeah. Like, what was Activision?
67 or something. 73 billion.
Yeah.
Nuts.
But
Crazy
I guess Bungie is essentially one game, right?
Totally. But I mean, it's a game that makes a lot of money.
Billions per year, probably.
Very interesting.
But low 7-figure. It's like, he hasn't even reached 10 mil for something that has become very quickly world renowned and so recognizable.
Yeah.
But, whatever. I guess
that's all he wanted. That's all he could get.
Yeah. Go make some more games and try and sell those off.
Maybe some royalties.
Yeah. Cool. That's the news.
Well, no,
it's not.
That's not how the news works.
That's right.
And a man that would know how that works is a man that's been on the 7 network for 27 years. But he finished up on This Weekend Gone at the time of recording.
You were scraping the barrel for this piece of news,
but this piece of news has been on there since Saturday.
Okay.
I wanted this one on there because it's Mike Whitney.
Hey.
He finished up.
Really?
After 27 years on the 7 network, finished up Sydney Weekender. Last episode was just on.
All right.
He just thought it was time to move on.
So they're not replacing him as a host? It's just that show is done?
No, Sydney Weekender continues. He's just wrapping up as a presenter, as
his
television.
last episode.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what he started off in 1994 on the network after being a cricketer.
Yeah, okay.
It was one of those ones that got brand deals and was like, I'm bigger than cricket now. I can leave.
Yeah.
And did stuff like Sydney Weekender, like Gladiator. That's I feel like I saw him doing the Gladiator stuff before I saw him do Sydney Weekender. He was like the referee who was always looking up at the dudes.
Totally. Yeah.
But he's wrapped up being on the telly. Former Olympian and 7 News Sport presenter Matt Shervington will be taking over. Matt, I wish you the best of luck, but you have no charisma at all. So good luck. It was watching Mike Whitney be like, all right, I'm finishing up and then I'm passing on to Mark here. And he sat down. He's like, I'm so excited to do it. I'm like, oh, fuck me.
No.
This is, you should not be on screen together.
Yeah.
It's fine. If you're like a Lavinia Nixon and you just take over and it moves on and it's fine, that's good. But I don't need to see you both here because the comparison's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good, man.
It sounds like he's being a presenter. Like he's being like a news reporter rather than
just having fun
on the Sydney Weekend.
Yeah, look, it's a bull. But sad times. Won't be hearing. The only way you'll hear that voice is through me.
That's it.
On
from
these
now
podcasts.
On. Yeah, absolutely.
But now that is the news. It wasn't before, but it is now.
It is now.
A little soft one. It'll be normal for you, but for us, it's a little limp.
A little
limp. Oh, And yeah, we've already done the news thing. Go watch that. Or what I mean to say, we've already done the ad read, which is go listen to Tepid.
Go listen to Tepid.
I'm going to do more soon because we've got so much music.
Yes.
If you wanted to leave suggestions, you can go to the Tepid FM in the ETTO shows in the Discord.
Yeah.
And suggest things. I think Joshy
like topics and stuff.
Yeah, Joshy suggested TV show themes.
Yeah, nice.
The things.
Cool.
So there's a few different things in there.
It'll be fun.
Give it to us. All right.
Give it to us.
Give it to us. Bring it on back to you. And speaking of you, it's time for us. We haven't seen each other for like a month's worth of thing, and we've got lots of things to talk about.
Got a few things.
What should we start with?
I don't know.
Oh.
So I have shows.
Yes.
I haven't watched movies, so I have a show in particular that we haven't talked about. Games, and then one other thing. Yeah.
I got basically that lineup. I've got TV, film, game, and another thing. But
there you go.
Something I always talk about, so it's not going to be a surprise.
Cool. All right. So do you want to start off?
I'll start us off with
That's a noise I haven't heard from you.
I'll start us off with something I've only seen. There's a film that we can talk about together, but Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is the first film of the year. For America, it came out in like November or something. For Australia, it came out on Jan 1st. And this was a delight. It's one of those films, I think, not in quality of like Rise of Skywalker, but I never looked at anything of what people thought about it. And like after the fact, I didn't either. So I lived in this little bubble of it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then like I've seeped out and I've seen generally good things, but then like Gus really hated it. And like, it's like, oh, was it bad? But for me, like the whole experience is exactly what I wanted from it.
Cool.
And it is so lovely.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm glad it worked, and I don't think they'll ever make another one because it's like if they want to make another one, it's going to have to rely on the old guys because spoilers, they're in it. You know they're in it. I won't say how, but they are in it, and they don't like. It feels like they want to continue a story with them, and I just don't think they will. Yeah. I think they came back and were like, "We're gonna have some fun, and we're never going to do it again," even though the movie is written to be like. The future of Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
it's like, there's no future. But great cast. The kids are great.
Go.
Finn Wolfhard is so uninteresting. He's the worst part of him and 11 are the worst parts of Stranger Things.
All right.
He was the worst part of this thing.
Yeah.
He's great outside of it.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I love him in like Jake and Amir's podcast and stuff.
Totally.
He's so fun.
But he's so boring in everything.
Bizarre.
I don't understand. He always plays like the disinterested kid. Or like the it's like he's the nerd, but he thinks he's cool, and that's just not interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And so he was that again, and it's just a bit like, yeah, whatever. But the girl, which I can never remember the name of her, but she's like young Captain Marvel, young Wonder Woman, young Sabrina.
Right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
She is phenomenal.
Nice.
The character she plays is like unearthly how perfectly it fits in the world.
Sick.
And yeah, well worth a watch if you love the movies. I think you probably need to have watched them.
We should do that sometime.
We should watch them. Them and Indiana Jones got a lot of movies. I don't think it's as directly like wanky of the original movies as people say. A lot of people are like, it does the Star Wars thing of like, whoa, it's the Millennium Falcon. Whoa. And I never really felt like it did that. And the reveal of the car is like, and it's not, isn't it? It's most of the trailers.
It's in the trailer.
He like lifts it up, sees it, and then the next time you see it, he's just driving it. It's not a like, oh my God, it's this crazy car. Like he literally says off screen, he's like, oh, it's a bit of a shit car. Like it's not, nothing's treated with like unearthly impossibility. It's like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
How cool. Move on. Yeah. So I actually think it's one of the best films in the similar vein to No Way Home. It's like, if there is a moment, it serves the story. It's not like, look at this thing.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think a mate of mine, the only thing that I've heard other than what you've basically just said about it, a mate of mine just messaged me and was like, have you seen it? And I'm like, no. And he's like, it's kind of just like the first one.
It
redoes the story.
Yeah. It is. It is beat for beat the original movie.
Cool. Yeah.
But again, it's Force Awakens, but it's the best version of Force Awakens kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't have a complaint with that because it's like it's a story that works, and then they've built new characters into it, and there's like it's not the same message. It's like it uses the basis of what worked. Yeah, and that's why it also is probably going to be the last one. It's like a bookend of what exists of the 3 movies that have ever existed. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Is it?
There's the other one.
1, 3, and this one.
1, 2, and this one.
This one, yeah. Okay.
But there was that other movie in the middle. Which the box set doesn't include. There is a box set of the complete Ghostbusters, and it's 1, 2, and 3, and not the Paul Feig movie. It's like, all right,
rough.
So that got a lot of backlash online.
Nice
from him.
Yep.
So
jeez,
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Watch it if you want.
There you go. I only have one show. So I have watched. Well, I haven't even watched all of it yet. I've watched about 5 or 6 episodes of Hit Monkey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't touched it yet.
Okay, cool. I honestly am not sure how you would feel purely because of Jason Sudeikis' character.
Okay.
How he acts in it. Because he talks a lot.
Yeah, okay.
He's just very like quippy the whole time, and because there's not many other characters for most of it, it's just him constantly talking.
He's Hit Monkey?
No.
Yeah, right. Oh, he's the main.
Yeah.
The main.
The main. Yeah. Because Hit Monkey doesn't talk.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So he just does,
chimp noises.
Or like facial expressions and stuff, which are great because you always know what he's feeling and thinking and stuff. But yeah, Jason Sudeikis' character, like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But I can tell that he could be like pretty grindy to some point. So I don't know how you're going to feel about it in the end, but maybe you'll be super into it. But I kind of like it because it's got like a cool anime style to it.
Yep.
I find Bryce, which is Jason Sudeikis' character, kind of gives like kind of Archer vibes. I
was going to say,
yeah. And some of that sort of like I just said that twice. Anime and Archer combined. I haven't seen Archer, but I've seen a lot of trailers for it because I used to have Foxtel, so they was advertised all the freaking time.
Yep.
I've been enjoying it for the most part. Just it's pretty easy to watch. Like it's sort of something you can just have on and not be focusing on too much. But yeah, it's hyper violent. That's why it's on Star. So don't recommend it if you've got kids. Jade, don't watch it with your kid.
Yeah. Did you see that photo I put in the Discord? It was on the Disney. It was it was on Marvel's Instagram, and it was like for the kids and for the adults, and it was Spider-Man and his amazing friends, that new kind of one, and then Hit Monkey. Yeah, and it was like, you shouldn't put those photos together.
No.
Like and it was only that small text, and then it was like watch on Disney Plus. Right. So it's like, that looks like an animated monkey show and a Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
They're both for children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. No. Woofed. Yeah. I feel like you'd figure it out pretty quick. Yeah, because it starts off with Bryce, and he's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, okay.
He's murdering people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I found it pretty fun. So I'd be happy to rewatch the first few with you after this or whenever.
Yeah.
And yeah, very, very keen to see where the rest of it goes. I don't know if it will ever get brought into
it'll be like MODOK. It's on the side.
Yeah. I feel like it could just be something like that. Maybe at some point there could be random references to it. Maybe Jason Sudeikis could come in as his character. Like, why freaking not? Yeah, he would have a very distinct voice, so you would know, especially the way he talks in this. Man. But yeah, I've been enjoying that over the last couple of weeks since I discovered it came out. Yeah, it's been good.
I'm going to talk, we can quickly talk about a movie we both watched, and then there's like 3 things I'll smash through in terms of TV and film.
Oh, good.
But the first one, which I don't think at the time of our pods we'd seen it, and now having seen it, it probably would be in our top 5 films.
Probably.
Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yep.
Which, this is the thing I laughed at before. I wrote it, left, came back to it, and read it. I wrote, It Takes Two. And you hadn't said the film thing yet. And it's because that completely irrelevant, right? Because It Takes Two, Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yeah.
And so I just rhymed it in my brain and wrote It Takes Two as a film I had watched.
Yeah.
But no,
we'll just say before when we were finding the news, I'm like, I'm not talking about this, but apparently
see?
Yep. It Takes Two is getting a film adaptation. So screw that.
Go see that if you want to.
No,
but don't. Tick, Tick, Boom is one of the best musicals I've ever watched.
Freaking great.
I think it's
so great.
Probably one of the only musicals soundtracks I would listen to in full. Very few musicals have all good songs.
Yep.
But this one starts with their best song. Like 3090 is like incredible. And then just never isn't good.
Yeah.
There's no bad song in the entire film.
Fascinating stuff. Even the one just like
the rap guy.
Yeah, like in his house.
Yep.
At the party where he's just like clapping and stuff.
This is the life.
Yeah. Like so fun.
Fucking hell.
So cool.
And I don't want to spoil how the film functions, but if you know the life of Jonathan Larson and you know one of his works, the name of the film, the way the film is constructed around a musical people probably haven't seen.
Yeah.
And the way those songs are used to, in the way that he wrote the musical, portray his life is such an such a unique thing. It's just like, you said the first, like, it's probably like the first 25 minutes is a little bit rough.
Yeah, it's like hard to pay attention to and follow.
But it's
my whole family was struggling with it. We were like,
even I was
what
like,
is this?
But I don't want to say what it is, but there is a point, and now that you've said it, because Josh had told me already, and then having watched it, I had that in my mind.
Just that it was weird to watch. I didn't spoil stuff.
No. But there is a point at around the 30-minute mark where something is said, and it is from that point on the movie really makes sense and is together. And if you pick up on that moment, it's joyous because it's if it is the way that they built it, it makes so much sense.
It's like the story beat is like a meta way of them, like making kind of focusing in on what this movie actually is.
Because like this is him writing a musical, and so that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like you're watching a musical being written.
Yeah,
and
it's cool because it was a musical. Like the idea was that Tick Tick Boom was a musical written by this dude about him writing this other musical. Yeah. And
about his life as well.
And just like general life stuff. And he did end up, for anyone who doesn't know who we're talking about, he wrote Rent, which is a very famous musical, but he died, I think, the night before the it was like night before premiere.
5 days before or something,
Yeah, something like, so he never got to see it actually go out there, and then it became this huge hit classic, and I've seen it on stage be performed and stuff like that.
It's so sad.
It's very sad, but it's great. You don't see him die. It's not part of it. It's just like at the end,
and that's the other element
extra
of
stuff about
how wonderfully focused this is. It only tells one story.
Yeah, and it's the story from
his musical. The musical he wrote, and like Lin-Manuel, I think this is basically his directorial debut. I think he's obviously written for movies and musicals and fucking Hamilton. But I think this is his first direction. Maybe he did some like real indie stuff, but this is his first like breakthrough thing. And it's like it's beautiful. Yeah, like, it's a beautifully shot film. There is a character in the film that you'll occasionally see holding a video camera, and she's a real person who used to record Jonathan. And so there's like little VHS bits in the film, and they are things that existed of him. And just like the little touch, like I watched probably 3 hours worth of behind the scenes on this thing, and Lin-Manuel has researched every person, like that party scene. Everyone there is someone. They are a named person in Jonathan Larson's life.
That's very cool.
That has a purpose.
Yeah.
Like there is the line that like the you better hope there's a light bulb in there. The woman that comes out of there is someone that used to come to his apartment, and like there's like a story for everyone in that.
That's so cool.
So yeah, like it is a phenomenal film, and not to even need to talk about it, but Andrew Garfield just is insane in it.
So good. And when you look up the guy and then look at how they've got Andrew Garfield in it, it's like, wow, he was that scruffy.
Yeah.
Like they've freaking nailed it.
Yeah. The hair, the lanky.
Yeah. Like Andrew Garfield is just like a more attractive version of the guy.
Yeah. And like there is
so good.
a single recording, and you can barely listen to it, of Jonathan Larson singing every Tick Tick Boom song. And he has nailed the intricacies of everything. And everyone else is amazing. There was one complaint, but it's not really a complaint. I would have liked more Vanessa Hudgens, because I do love her. And
did not even realize it was her until the end credits.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, she's just over there.
No wonder I kind of had a little crush on that.
Yeah, that random
actress,
character.
Because I did when I was in high school too.
Okay.
There you go.
And apparently so did Lin-Manuel Miranda, because when he's talking about her, he's just like, Vanessa. It's like, come on, man. It's so fun. But yeah, please, Tick Tick Boom, if you've got Netflix, put it on. And
if you've got Netflix.
I know.
Of course you do.
Well, so here's the thing. Either I say it's free and you wrap me out for saying if you've got Netflix, or I say if you've got Netflix and you're like, if you've got pick a side.
No, just go watch it on Netflix.
You've got it.
That's what you say. Go watch it on Netflix.
Okay. And if you have Netflix, you can watch all three of these next things as well. You can watch all three of these next things.
Yeah, do it.
Very quickly, I watched 2 films that I have had on my Netflix. My goal is to go through all the films that are sitting there this year to wipe clean my watch list on Netflix. With my parents, I watched Gravity. I'd never seen Gravity.
Which one's that again?
Sandra Bullock one and George Clooney.
Yeah, cool.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
And like
weird, like middle thing where he comes back.
Yeah,
that still trips me out.
Yeah,
like why?
Mum was like, "He's back." I'm like, "He's not back, Mum." And it was really cool. It's a good one to watch behind the scenes of, because it's basically like early days. The Volume is how it was shot.
Yeah, right.
But almost that, except all they use is their face. And everything, it's basically a CGI film, because it's just a floating head, and then the body and everything else is just built from scratch.
Yeah, right.
Which is just nuts to watch, because I assumed it was like 60% practical and like the space, but there is no spaceship interiors. That is a white void that she's just, and then they've just cropped her head off and just popped it. It's just not, it's a beautifully, it's insane that it's like 2013 or something. Like, it looks incredible.
I think I saw it at the movies.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, because I
can't imagine why I would have watched it outside the movies.
No.
So I think someone probably just, probably Neil would have.
Maybe you watched 2001 Space Odyssey last year and then that.
Yeah.
Just a double whammy.
That's it,
space.
Just weird space things.
Really cool. And I'm glad I watched it. I avoided it for a long time because I hate Interstellar, which I think those two were kind of near each other.
They were really close. Yeah, I never saw Interstellar, but
I hate Christopher Nolan stuff, and that's like peak wank. I'm just like, go away.
Peak wank.
And
edging.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's like the precipice of the wank. And then the next movie, or the second movie, is True Grit, which is Haley Steinfeld's first ever film.
Yep.
And it is like, it is the Western movies that were made, and it's a remake of like a 70s or 60s one. It feels like an old Western in a way that I assumed we were scared to make them. It feels old and modern at the same time. Cool. So it's really, and Haley Steinfeld is like, I cannot, I mean, she got an Oscar, so I don't really have to give her any more praise.
Yeah.
But she is so good. She steals the scene from Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Like,
and for, your debut movie.
First film.
That's pretty nuts.
So well worth a watch of that on Netflix, which you have. And then the final thing that you can watch because you have Netflix is Kim's Convenience. I watched the first season of that. Simon Lewis show.
Yeah, cool.
I've wanted to watch it for ages. I watched the first season in maybe a night and a half.
Okay.
They're like 20-minute eps.
Yep.
It is so fucking funny. Cool. Like, it is so good. I hate sitcoms with a passion. And seeing it and having a different core cast just makes it so much more. Like, I can never watch Friends. Like, I watched that 70s show in Seinfeld, and it's like, that was it.
Yeah.
I can't watch another one of these now.
Yeah, and then your next one, I guess...
Good Place?
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. Yeah, it's kind of sitcom-y.
Kind of sitcom-y. Yeah. That would be,
That's kind of the only other modern one.
Step.
But this is, It is a weird one to watch because it is based on a stage play, and the first episode feels like a stage play. It's a little bit stilted.
Okay.
Everything's a little bit slow, but literally from that episode onwards, and seeing at the end of it based on a stage play, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then you could see it. You could see the lights coming up and this scene taking place, and then the light, and then it was really enjoyable to watch it in that respect.
right.
And
that's cool. Does it continue like that?
I mean, the lights thing doesn't happen. That's what my brain does.
Oh, right, okay.
That's like if you imagine it as being that, you can kind of, but I think it does. It does get a momentum to it that becomes like a normal show.
Yeah.
And obviously for Mando and Boba Fett fans, spoilers for Boba Fett, I guess. Upper, the Mr. Kim, the father in that, is the X-Wing pilot in season 2 and in the most recent episode of Boba Fett. So I've been keen to watch it for both of those. But yeah, well worth a watch. There is 5 seasons. The most recent season, I think, has an ending, but it has been cancelled. So hopefully it has an ending. I saw Simu.
The whole show has been cancelled?
Yeah, as Netflix
2 seasons?
does. 5 seasons. Yeah.
It was more than I thought.
5 seasons.
It's more than Netflix usually gives to a show.
Unless it's Stranger Things, that's it.
Yeah.
I did see Simu, and it was unfortunate that I read it like after finishing the first season because I want to keep watching it. He mentioned that an arc doesn't end in the way he would have liked to, and knowing the arc, I'm like, oh god, there is only one ending, and if they didn't get that ending, that means the show did not finish. So it's one of the, I don't know if I want to keep watching it because I don't want to be disappointed when it's ended.
Yeah.
But at least watch the first season because it's a really nice contained. It feels like a pilot season where they're like, if we don't get another one, we have an ending.
This is it. Yeah.
So worth a watch.
Nice.
Games.
Cool. Freaking games, man. So I finished Deathloop. Started it last year. Was hoping to try and smash it out before we got to Sydney, but we had like 3 days. To do that, and we we had a lot of things to do. We recorded all those like
4
podcasts and stuff.
Yeah,
like so much. So there was just no time.
No, there's no time.
There's no time. Finished that, which was great.
Yeah,
really, really good. Weird selection of endings.
Yeah. Did you watch the other ones?
I did, yeah.
Cool.
I think when we were talking about it, we ended up just going and watching the other options. So I did the one where it kept telling me to do certain things, and I just went along with it and did it. So I got probably the most standard one, I guess.
Yeah.
There's another one where you like sit down, or another one where you don't kill her, and there's things.
It's weird because it doesn't feel like a game that needed multiple endings.
Yeah.
And they're kind of hidden, but it's still just like it feels like nothing else. It's like you have to do the things that you do kind of.
Yeah, totally. And it just seems like, there's like time loops, so there's so many like things going on, and it would have been nice to just get you finish all these time loops and you just go into one finale.
Yeah.
In saying that, I think I felt pretty good about the ending I got because it was kind of the one that I had been working towards. Like the whole idea was break the loop. And I did.
Yeah.
So it felt fairly satisfying, I guess. But yeah, it was great. And one thing I probably haven't mentioned, but I mentioned to you a day or two before.
Yeah.
I suddenly realized that I had been playing the game completely wrong and missed the major mechanic of the game until the final mission, where I had been trying to attempt to complete the final mission without having the mechanic of being able to, for those who have played it before, like keep objects between loops.
Nuts.
Any objects. I just hadn't done that mission where you get that ability to keep the slabs and weapons and stuff. So it was just fresh every time until the final mission. And I got to the final few people of the final mission. I was so close.
Yeah.
Like, I think I killed one of them as well. So I had 2 more to kill out of the 6, 8.
Yeah.
However many. And like I almost did it without even discovering the final freaking thing. And then I think I ended up cheesing the final level as well. Because I was in one room.
Yeah.
I like ended up just in one room, which was like a balcony above, like an inside balcony above like a room of people and stuff. You could jump across a bunch of things hanging from the roof. I was just on like that balcony platform and every single enemy ran in to the room constantly. So I just kept killing them. And like there were, you know, the other enemies that were shooting at me from a rooftop, and I could now keep weapons because I got that mechanic and was able to pick them off from a distance. Yeah. It was so easy. Like it ended up being super easy.
Yeah.
And I did barely anything. It was bizarre. And then I just ran back to the exit.
And did the thing.
Well, we ran to the end of the mission and every enemy was dead in the whole level.
The last level must be broken because for me, I got the girl because I think she's on the rooftop and you can take her out.
Yeah.
I got one of the guys because she actually punches him and he falls through some glass. And so you can just shoot him in the head from that rooftop. So I got rid of those two and it was just the guy that comes out on the dance floor. You didn't know.
It's not how I ever saw any of that game,
So there's one of the characters you can remix his soundboard to be like his favorite jam, and then he'll come out onto the dance floor and you can take him out.
Yep.
And I tried to do that and waited for ages and it just never worked. And then I tripped someone up and so they all started following me. And as I was running away, it went dum, and I'm like, and he died. I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
For sure. And so I just kept running to the thing. I'm like, I'm not going back there.
That's so bizarre.
So I only killed 2 of the 3 in that final level. And one just killed himself.
One of them died at some point.
I must have put on a terrible song.
Yeah.
But it must just be a very broken level.
It's bizarre. It's cool that stuff can happen without you though.
Yeah.
Because there's occasions where like, they would just die or whatever. Yeah. Like there'd be, you know, bullet fire coming at me and maybe they just got stuck in the way or something. Like interesting, weird stuff.
It's cool. I will say, did you know about and I didn't because I've never played the games, but the gun at the end is from Dishonored. So people are wondering if it is actually going to be going towards a single universe.
It makes sense. It was old time gun.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of makes sense.
So it's actually like it's straight from I think Dishonored 2. So
sure,
could be heading towards a cross universe.
Cool, that is cool. I did after watching the other endings as well. I saw there was like a secret. There's like other people that are also like they know that they're in a loop.
Yes,
but you never come across them unless you like read like documents and go in like actually explore the levels to some depth and you actually like go into a room. There's one where like there's a note outside a door but the door's locked and you can't get into it, and the only way you can get into the room with the note is by like teleport jumping in after having died already, I think, because there's like lasers that will kill you one shot or something. Right. And then you like meet this person and they're like, you need to kill me because that will get me out of this loop or something.
Holy
it's
shit.
Like super interesting.
Yeah, right.
It's this woman. It's really, really cool. So if you've played it and you missed that story, just go look up some stuff about the secret stories about it because there's some crazy extra stuff in there.
Like I've legitimately wanted to go back to it and just read everything because if you like at the start I was reading stuff, but then I was like, I just want to play the game.
There's so many ways. Just like,
So, but the few that I read, I was like, this seems interesting. Yeah. So maybe I'll go back.
Yeah. So there's some cool stuff. Did you play anything else?
I've got 2 games. So
I have 2 others.
Yeah, cool. So I'll say this one. I played through the WarioWare Get It Together campaign.
Nice.
It's probably about 3 hours. Yep. It has one of those fake out endings, and then there's a couple more levels.
Sure.
To play.
Yeah. Cool.
So I was like, sick. I'm done for the. And it's really, really good. I think it's good for a WarioWare game that is out now. I don't think it's good for a Nintendo Switch WarioWare game.
Right.
It's like all of them have made use of the console they're on. It's like the Game Boy one had the great like rocker so that you could move your Game Boy to kind of twist stuff and do. And then like obviously being on the Wii, there was plenty to do there. Yeah. This has nothing. Like it's all based on your analog stick and your directional buttons or A and B. There's no touch. There's no like rumble. There's nothing.
It would have been cool to Like
totally
utilize like basically 1-2 switch that. That's what 1-2 switch was mini games.
Yeah.
Just put it in your mini game.
That's what and that's like the one thing that hurt because it's great, but I was like, this is as good as it was on Game Boy.
Sure.
It's not been lifted by a new console. And I was kind of hoping, because the Switch is a modern console, there's a lot there, there's the rumble, there's everything.
Totally.
But super fun. I think it's the first time, I didn't play the Wii one. I think it's the first time you've had separate characters. Like generally you were just playing games, but this time you have...
I heard about that.
Like I think there's like 20 characters and each of them... There's like there's probably like really only 5 movesets and some of them just kind of repeated in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
But each of them have a different way to solve a puzzle.
Yeah. But like there's different ways to solve the same puzzle. So you have to this is just from what I've heard on other podcasts. Yeah, you get like a character, well, there's all the characters that move differently, and then they'll just throw you into a puzzle with a character and you're like, crap, how does this one work again?
Yeah.
This is how you do it. And so you're much more kind of like
snappy.
You need to really think super quick. Whereas the other ones were just like, here's the puzzle. I know how to
remember this puzzle. Yeah.
But
so that's the element, the new thing that's thrown in there.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's the thing of like, it's like Smash. You find your mains and it's like within the first couple ones, I'm like, I understand these ones fully. And like, as you're going, it's kind of like you start out with one, you get another one and it's like, as you go, your roster builds and you can pick 3, 4, 5. And it's like, I got to a point where I was only picking the same 4.
Sure.
And then playing with that new character and going like, don't like you.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's cool, but it's also like there are some that are more frustrating than fun. It's like, I'm never going to play like this. This is silly.
Yeah.
But all the mini games are as fun as they usually are. So definitely worth it if you want to spend money on the eShop and get points.
Can do it.
You can do that.
Been talking about it. Yeah, nice. I did buy it, so I should definitely do that.
Yeah.
I 2 Sundays ago, I think, finished a replay of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nuts.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that freaking game. I don't know if you knew that I was doing this.
I didn't until you sent me that photo of the end credits.
That's right. Yeah. I basically tried to keep it back just purely for this, for the discussion. Just smashed through that in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Yep.
And yeah, it's so good.
Still good?
I still feel like it stands up.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for
more.
the next thing.
Yeah.
It's just so good. I did like some side mission stuff, not like all of them. I didn't like 100% it like I did the first time and things like that. I didn't do the DLC. But yeah, it was just great.
Have you done the Frozen Wilds?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So that came out on
That's right.
Australia Day Melbourne Cup Day 2017. And I accidentally woke up at 7 a.m. because it's public holiday here. Instead of sleeping in, which was dumb. I think I like knew and turned off my alarm, so it wasn't even my alarm woke me up at normal time. I was going to sleep in and woke up and then couldn't get back to sleep. So I was like, Frozen Wilds comes out today. I'll just buy it and play it. And that's all I did. And I played the whole thing. And I think it was like a solid like 12 hours or something long.
Yeah.
Like it was a big DLC. And that's all I did that day. It was
just
time well spent.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had played it before. Get the general idea, but super, super keen for the next one. It was just great to jump back in, relearn like the world and like the reasons for everything. Like I knew the general idea, remembered the general idea, but just coming back to the characters, remembering all of the characters,
the
and
beats.
Then I think like days after I finished it, or maybe like just before, was the newest trailer, the gameplay trailer or whatever, which introduces a bunch of characters, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
I know these guys.
You guys are coming back. I didn't expect you guys to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, super, super stoked.
Good.
Like, after playing it, I'm more excited. I was super excited already. I bought the freaking huge collector's edition. But
you did too.
Yeah, having just replayed it.
Yeah.
I'm even more excited to replay it to see these characters again.
Good. I wanted to make a joke about in the photo you took Have you got that still of the credits?
I will in our conversation.
True.
I can find that.
The name of her was quite funny, and I was going to make a joke about it.
Was it?
Yeah, that one.
Angie Smets?
Angie Smets.
I don't know why yours is so much nicer than mine.
Because I finished the game too.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I played through it when you and Ben were talking about, then I was like, I was playing a game I wasn't watching. I was finishing Horizon Zero Dawn.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's why.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I did not expect you to ever bother.
Yep. I was sitting at home and I was like, I want to play something, and I wanted to play something that I had, and I only have my PC, and so I bought it on PC and played through it. And it's great.
Yeah.
And I think I know why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like those games. I just didn't play open world games in 2017.
Yeah. And the characters are pretty dry.
Oh yeah, it's
very
horrible.
dry. Yeah,
it's horrible. But I don't think I understood the mechanics. I don't think I understood. I didn't understand. I got to, so I know now where I got up to. And when I got up to it in this, I was so frustrated because it took me like fucking 30 hours to get to this point. That took me 6.
Sure.
It was when you're back at the Karja thing and they push you into the pit and you've got to fight the creature.
Yeah, okay.
And you don't have any of your gear, so you've got to direct it towards stuff. I think I did that, but then when I got my gear, because I'd never upgraded anything.
Yeah.
I never had any different outfits. It's like I was severely on the level.
Yeah, okay.
And so when I played it this time, I did all the things. I was always like 2 levels above for each story bit. And so I finished it in like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is an easy game.
Yeah.
What are they on about?
Yeah. I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah,
oh my
it was
God,
great.
I'm so happy.
So much fun.
Yeah,
so
that's great because the other day I'm like, oh, are you going to play it? You mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you going to play it or are you just going to like watch me play it because I know you don't like the other ones? And you're like, no, I'll probably play it. Like, there's not much else coming out that month.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's why.
And that's
sneaky bastard.
I know. That's why I want it on a PC because I want to play on PC.
It's so good.
It is stunning in ultra wide. So like sometimes when you've been in here, I've been like booting it up and just moving around because I played it on my small, tiny little screen back in Sydney.
Yeah.
And it's a great port for PC. So
nice.
That was the game that I played in the break.
Makes me so happy. Oh my gosh.
I know. Held on to that one.
Yes.
That's why you get to find the photo.
That's great. That's so great.
Yeah.
Very good.
Literally, as the credits came up, I was like, I got an idea. Fuck. Angie Smets. Angie.
That's so good.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
You can keep talking.
I don't know if I can. My heart. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've been playing Metroid Dread. That's all. That's the only other thing I have to say.
Yeah.
I've just been playing through a bunch of that. I feel like I'm maybe like halfway. It's hard. I got up to a boss where I'm like, yep, this game is hard now. I beat a couple of bosses that seemed pretty easy.
Yep.
And now I'm at a point where I'm like, this is tough. So I'm going back through as I've learnt from probably almost the only other Metroidvania game that I've played, which is Hollow Knight. Well,
I was going to ask.
Significantly difficult. Like I've played Ori, but it's not hard.
Ori's frustrating. It's not hard.
Yeah,
it's just like, why are you like this?
Yeah. But Hollow Knight in that I would butt my head up against a wall trying to defeat characters. Like that was one of the few games that I've sworn while playing because of getting so frustrated.
That and Rocket League.
Yes, apparently. That taught me that like if a boss is super hard, you're probably under-leveled.
Yeah.
It's also probably tough, but there's ways to make it slightly easier. So I took on that boss a few times. I'm like, I think I can probably upgrade some stuff quickly. So I'm running around just, finding other things that I can access and upgrade to make my way back to try and defeat that guy again. There's like one more thing that I want to collect, but I don't know where it is. So I just have to search to try and find the thing. I'm very glad that a map exists.
Yep.
Because some Metroidvanias just don't. And that would be hell.
Yeah.
But thankfully, this has a map because every room just looks the same. There's different levels and they all look the same anyway. But every time I play, there's just like little bits of progress as well. So I never feel like any
playthrough
is wasted. Like I'll play for half an hour and get a couple of upgrades or find the next like major mission or, you know, have a cutscene. Even just watching a cutscene in a 15, 20-minute playthrough is like, I did something.
They're really cool. Really cool cutscenes.
They look great. yeah. So, keen to jump in to more of that. Ben just finished it last night.
Yes.
After our Halo 2 stream.
Yep.
He said he went home and just basically collapsed in a heap from his booster. And somehow managed to still finish Metroid Dread, which I've heard is a hell of a final boss.
Yeah.
Which is great. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I am determined to play it because I've heard it's like you feel pretty damn accomplished after finishing that game. So
do you reckon this would have been like Tick Tick Boom? Do you reckon this would have been in your games?
Not yet. Not yet.
Wouldn't have knocked anything yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's pretty good though. Maybe it could have knocked off like I don't know, the SpongeBob cooking game or whatever I had on there. I think I had that on there. Yeah, it probably could have knocked that off.
Game of the year, almost winner.
So good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
It's been good fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Fiction. Of the papery kind.
Nice.
Gamora Nebula, the
cool,
not young adult book, just where Big W puts it there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't belong there.
No. Never does.
There's some like direct, like they describe the moment Nebula cut off her arm, and it's very direct in terms of what tendons and what bone and what. So it is not for children.
Jeez. This is also, you know, the same young adult, like young teen, whatever area that the Thanos book was in, where his father gets him prostitutes or something.
Yeah. It's
cool.
like, you want those? And he's like, I don't want those, Dad. That's weird. Yeah. Yep. So
young teen
doesn't belong there.
Yes.
So, but I liked it to a point. I think it does great things with the characters. Again, every piece of media that isn't the movies, I'm like, the movies aren't that great, are they? But then, like, I always do this dance of the movies aren't that great, and then I remember when we watched, like, you watched 30 minutes of it, and it's like, that was pretty good.
I kind of teared up in half an hour of
they're good
Guardians
isolated.
2.
Yeah, they're still great movies. It was really good. I think it's maybe a little bit long in the tooth. It goes, it just, the one good thing about it, which I think is the first thing you read, but the idea is, someone need a thing, and they go to the Grand Master to get it, and he's like, because it's an interesting thing in the comics, Grand Master actually has more stuff than the Collector because they're brothers, and there's actually a competition between the two of them.
Right.
And so these two people have gone to the Collector to be like, do you have this thing? And he's like, no, but I got an idea for a little game. And so it's like one of them picks someone, and the other one, I mean, it's Gamora Nebula, it's the book. But and so they're both after this item. And why I bring that up is it's great to read the book with these interstitials of the Grandmaster and these two other people, because it's written like Jeff Goldblum. Sick. And so it's like every now and then you just get like 3 paragraphs of just weird stuff that you can hear his voice. So you're just laying at 12 o'clock at night.
Have you read him in the comics before?
The Grandmaster?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not as
quite
weird.
that.
Yeah.
No.
I'd like to see more Grandmaster and see whether they were just like, Grandmaster is Jeff Goldblum, or whether he is now, the Grandmaster is now Jeff Goldblum.
Well, because if you think of like the Contest of Champions trailers, if you've ever watched those, he's like a big beefy dude with like,
and so
he's just like angry.
Yeah.
So he's not quite that.
Fair. So
I assume that's what he was like prior to Goldblum. But good book, maybe a bit long, but also like nice, like 10 to 12 page chapters, which is good for me. Like I like to go, I can read this chapter, and then if I'm like not tired enough, I'm like, I can definitely get through another. And then that's it. Yeah. So it's a fun read.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Very nice. I also read something. I read a comic. I read a graphic novel.
Maybe you got less of those than the other ones.
Yeah.
But at least you read one you own.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Fuck your headphones.
All right. So for my birthday, I got, as I showed on stream the other day, I got the Ultimate 6, I guess, comic 9.8 graded. Very nice, from one of my friends. But he also got me Harley Quinn No Good Deed, which is a graphic novel made up of, I think, the first 5 or 6 issues of maybe the latest run.
Yep.
One of the latest runs of Harley Quinn. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So it has a whole bunch of characters. It's got Ivy, Hugo Strange, basically doesn't have the Joker. Killer Croc, Solomon Grundy, who is very fun and cute, basically like a Groot-esque type of character in this.
Yeah.
Because he's not like a villain in this, but because it's all villains,
it's from
like a lot
their
of the villains are kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
it's like the series.
Yeah. And Penguin. There's only really like references to Joker, like they talk about him, but I don't think he's ever actually in it.
There's a little bit of an erasure of the Joker lately.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like we're trying to move away.
Yeah. It was great. The art is very like sketchy.
Cool.
Kind of almost like Matt Fraction-esque, but maybe a little bit more detailed.
Yep.
The cover art is sick. I'm going to go grab it.
Yeah, go.
Quickly.
Cool.
The cover of 3 just looks freaking sick.
Looks sick. If you want to see what we're looking at,
there it is.
Head to patreon.com/eachthethrone to watch the video component of this podcast.
Check it out. It's just lovely. Like the colors. What did I write down? The color in her hair is sick because it's like, it's not just like you're blonde with your purple and stuff, but there's like greens and teals and pinks and blues and stuff. Like it's kind of a recent thing that I've discovered where people use like crazy colors and it works.
Yeah.
Like you draw grass and like you look at someone like painting grass and they'll put purple in there.
You're like, say purple.
How?
Yeah.
Like what?
Where is
what
it?
What made you think of purple?
Yeah.
It's green. Grass is green. It's only green. But it's just not how my mind ever works.
Yep.
But other parts of it, like I'll show you and then show the camera. There's kind of the card things. So there's like hearts, there's diamonds, there's like clubs and stuff.
Cheshire cat in there.
Yeah, like it's sort of that, like it's almost Joker-esque.
Yep.
I guess in there as well. And then you've got Hugo Strange up the top. Like there's
very cool.
Some very cool things. I'll get a little bit close to try and get some of the symbols and stuff, card symbols. It's just very cool. I really like that that art. And then there's some interesting framing around the middle of that issue as well, which just does some cool stuff. Is that one and that one? Yeah. So there's one where there's like almost a full page spread, but where they want you to focus, they put framing lines around just within it. So it's not separating the image up. It's just like, we want you to focus on this part.
Putting
so
a box on it.
Put a box around it, which just looks really cool. Like that. So it's like basically it's 2/3 of a page, but they want you to focus on a dude kind of up the top. Sorry for audio listeners, you won't be able to see this. This dude up the top in a box, but he's part of the full image, and then Harley's like a little bit further down. She's also part of the full image, but she's framed. And then the next page over has a very similar thing, but I'll just go straight to that. But it is one whole image split up into different frames, but it also has arrows pointing to the next point. So it's Harley like 4 or 5 times in one sort of single frame, but then they frame it kind of angled and weirdly and then point to like where she is between frames to sort of so you can follow where she's meant to be. Yeah. It's just some cool like little art things.
That's fun.
Going through it. And yeah, like it's just it's very fun. The whole idea of it is that well, it starts off with something has happened between her and Harley, her and Ivy.
Yep.
So she's like sad about that. And so there's a bit of sort of that heaviness in her heart about that. But the city of Gotham has decided that clowns just basically covers like anyone wearing a mask, any villains and anyone.
That's awkward. Anyone wearing a mask.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they're even basically against Batman.
Yeah, good.
Needs to go. And so they hire Hugo Strange to weed them out and to basically like, I think the city's intentions are for them just to get like locked up and, you know, taught to be good again.
Yeah.
And Harley's trying to be good. She essentially works with Batman in this, which is very fun as well.
Yeah,
They have some cool backs and forth. Hugo is obviously like, they get him out of jail to do the job. So he's obviously got some additional motivations and additional things that are happening. And so Harley goes in with one of her friends whose name is like George or Frank or something. Like, it's just, you know, a dude.
There always is.
It's always just a dude that follows around. And just has to try and stop him. And it's it's good fun. It's a good little fun read. I kind of wish that just this had more. Like, now I'm scared that I want to buy the rest of it. It also kind of feels like maybe the last issue wasn't necessary.
Yeah, right.
It felt like she finished it in issue 5. There's issue 6. And on the back it says Harley Quinn number 1 to 6 and a special story from Batman Urban Legends. I don't know where that part was because there was only issue 1 to 6 of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
There was nothing to do with Batman. There was nothing to do with Batman Urban Legends at all.
Yeah.
So I'm very confused, but the art style does change in I think the 5th issue. Yeah, right. It becomes very different.
It is odd. DC seem to do 6-issue minis because Marvels are all 5, but the few that I've been collecting are all 6 for DC, which is odd.
Yeah. So I mentioned Catwoman? I didn't. Catwoman's also in this.
Cool.
There you go. Yeah, and her stuff is very fun with Harley too. So yes, I read that and it was great.
Very good.
So recommend it if you want to go pick it up. It's not often that I read comics outside of stuff that we're doing for ETTO.
Comic car stuff,
but I think lately I've been sort of playing a game and then finishing it and being like, I kind of want to do something else. I have a lot of things to read.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that.
I'll quickly burn through just a few comics.
Yes.
Not books. I last night was reading through a run which makes me want to buy the trade, which is out in the next week's thing, which is the Kang the Conqueror. It's a 5-issue run of comics. Basically, it's really fun because it centers on Nathaniel Richards. So like he has not decided to be Kang yet.
Yeah. Cool.
And so it starts with like, I assume I would say around like a 22-year-old. And so he's like, and the whole point of Kang is he's from like 3048 or something. And the future is so perfect that nothing is evolving, that time is basically at a standstill.
Right.
And so Nathaniel is like, well, if nothing will change here, I will go back in time and change time. And if I can't do anything in this point in time, surely. And so he goes to Dr. Doom's abandoned library to find like time travel, which is so fun because he's like, people have done time travel. Like the Avengers have done. I'm just going to find a book and do it.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so and this is like first 6 pages. He goes there, he finds what he thinks is going to do something. And then Kang arrives and is like, look, I know what you're trying to do. Ooh. Come with me. I'm going to teach you how to be Kang. And that's kind of the setup of it.
Cool.
And
is this an origin?
I think it's the beauty
like a rebooted origin?
Yeah, it's the beauty of Kang is there is no origin.
Yeah, okay.
Because there are millions of Kangs.
Yeah.
And so this one is a very much a rebooted one because, you know, at one point he's Iron Lad in there. At one point, it's kind of like every version of Kang we've seen that they're creating a story for that to linearly fit.
Yeah.
And so that's why I want to. There's 2 more issues that aren't on Unlimited but will be in the trade that I'm kind of like, I might just buy that so I've got them all because it's really good. The art is stunning. I forgot the artist is someone that I read a different thing of. And then I was like, what have they done? And they'd done Kang, and that's why I started reading Kang.
Okay.
But really cool. And yeah, the first 3 issues are on Unlimited. Well worth a read. The Death of Doctor Strange is an arc that's been ongoing since late last year.
Yes.
It wrapped up last week, so I've got all the comics. I've got 2 more to read, and I'm excited to read those. Unfortunately, I don't know who... Actually, do I know who killed him? I do. I just found out who killed him in the one I read. But I don't know how it finishes, but I do know the future of Doctor Strange as a character must be left kind of unsaid because Cleo his love interest will be Strange from March 3rd.
Ooh,
so
cool.
I think they may be that Doctor Strange comics might be what I continue with because it's really cool. Like one of the best like spread arcs that I've read because like your Civil Wars and stuff got a bit loose.
Yeah,
there's a few of them. I'm like, I don't think I need to read this. The basic premise, it's in the name. Doctor Strange dies, and so like dimensions start leaking, and so the side comics aren't really about the murder mystery of who killed him. It's more, well, what if this thing leaked out of a dimension and consumed the X-Men, and the X-Men turned into these weird demons, and Doctor Strange isn't there to fix that. Who fixes it? Black Knight. So Black Knight's there, and like,
cool.
It's finding. It's like Blade. Okay, Blade looks after the undead, but well, if the undead realm is allowed to seep out, who's going to look out? So Blade now has to. It's like all the things Doctor Strange used to use these hundreds of arms to fix. All these other characters need to do.
Yeah.
So all the side issues
like,
are great.
How
does the world continue?
Yeah, who replaces Doctor Strange doing his many jobs? Yeah,
so it's really cool.
That's cool.
You don't have to read them, but it's nice that they're not heavy lore outside of it. It's just a fun story separate to it.
Nice.
So that's worth a read. And then the final thing is Volume 2 of She-Hulk. I'm still reading through that, which is the Dan Slott run. Mm-hmm. It's the second Dan Slott run. He did one, it broke, and then this one happened. And I'm starting to just buy them because I realized I had about 10 of them through just buying covers I liked.
Yeah, cool, nice.
And so I've looked into it, and King's has a lot of them. So I've acquired them, and I think issue 1 and a few of the other ones are as they always is, they're just random ones that are very expensive. But, really worth a read. I think that this and Volume 1, the 2 Dan Slott runs, will probably be what the show is taken from heavily.
Sure.
There's rumors that you kind of see it in the trailer where her and Ruffalo are looking down the barrel of the camera, and it's a little bit fourth wall breaky. There's a lot of that in this.
Cool.
And obviously that wasn't in the original She-Hulk. It's very much brought in here. So I think these are going to be the runs that they'll take a lot of.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, well worth reading She-Hulk Volume 2.
Nice.
And that's everything, I think.
I think we've covered it all.
Oh,
yeah. Nice. Chunky app.
Big January.
Big Jan.
Big Jan.
Very good.
Goodness.
Cool.
And with that, we're back Mondays streaming.
Yes.
So if you want to see our faces, hopefully every Monday. I feel like no matter what, someone will be streaming on a Monday. There's
probably
something will happen.
Yeah. Either me or Will or both of us.
Or Ben.
Hopefully. Or maybe Ben will jump in. Maybe one of us and Ben.
Yeah.
Something like that. But Ben and I will likely continue the Halo streams on Friday nights. Super chill vibes. So yeah. We'll be continuing to do that.
Yeah.
These are now going to be Wednesday releases? Tuesday releases?
But this one you'll be watching and listening to on a Wednesday.
This will be on a Wednesday?
But usually we'll be doing Tuesdays. So you don't get bombarded with like 6 hours worth of us on a Monday.
That's true. Yeah.
You'll get the stream on the Monday, the pod on the Tuesday.
That's right.
And then Wednesdays fortnightly, not this week, but going forward, will be the That Figures. The That Figures is back. Patreon.com/each to their own. Go listen to Tepid.
Yeah. Can you tell we're tired?
Yeah. We've done enough of this, but if you do want any more of our content, it's youtube.com/each to their own. It's twitch.tv/etonline. And if you want to support us in any way, go to patreon.com/each to their own and get into our super secret Discord where you can suggest things, and all those wonderful people are in there talking about action figures and Peacemaker. It's not wonderful, but they're talking about it.
They're talking about that stuff. Yeah. Come chat. Come hang out. And until next time.
There's no come chat.
No.
But you can come chat.
Come and chat.
No. Just come chat.
Join and chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can if you want to.
I guess.
Don't let us know.
Do we make a new channel for that?
For come chat?
Yeah.
We'll call it Muck Chat.
Muck Chat.
And then no one will know. Only the people that will listen to this one will understand why it's there.
That's perfect.
And it'll be the eggplant and the water droplets because they're all got emotes.
Good.
Muck Chat coming to a Discord near you.
There it is. Well, we could just make a new emote, a new emoji thing, which is Muck from Pokemon.
Yeah, okay.
Which is famously come backwards, and it is just a pile of sludge.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
it is.
I
thought the chandelier was weird, but come.
Yeah. Well, it's people discovered like there's Ekans and Arbok, and Ekans is snake backwards and Arbok is cobra backwards.
Of course.
Then people are like, so what about muck?
Yeah.
Which is just a pile of
white goo.
Purple goo. But
it depends on it depends on what you've drunk that day.
I guess.
Have a good glass of Ribena.
Where is this going?
The end. Until the next time, I've been Will.
I've been Josh.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, no.